All right, let's take a look at the poll results. What are our final? Okay, yep, Tennessee's going to win if Nico plays. That's the winner in our poll question today. Runner-up, no, you're not going to win, not after Georgia lost last week. Then you got, yes, UT is better, came in third. And fourth, people saying Georgia is better than Tennessee. Ha! Okay, here's my question. Gentlemen, Vols are expected to have Nico Iamaleava if you listen to Josh Heupel. If it's a concussion, I don't know. If it's something with the shoulder, who knows? But he says he expects him. What else is he going to say? You don't know about Dante Thornton at this point. Meanwhile, Georgia had 3 more turnovers. That's 11 in their last 4 games. 9 of those have been Carson Beck interceptions. Mm-hmm. They can't run the ball, as we said earlier. Jimmy, what are you thinking? Take all that into account. What are you thinking as the Vols head to Athens?
I'm thinking Georgia's very vulnerable. I think Carson Beck is not nearly the quarterback he was a year ago. I think part of it is because he doesn't have Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey. They have not done a really good job recruiting wide receivers. The best receiver maybe in the last 7 or 8 years they got was Pickens. He was really good in the NFL. But they don't have a receiver that scares you. Their tight ends are okay. So I think that's impacted him. He's also thrown into coverage a lot. He did that like 5 times against Florida, and he's lucky he only had 3 interceptions.
And while their defense is good, it's not the monsters of the midway good that you saw earlier in the year.
Defense,
over
their defense.
They have
or
some
Ole
good,
Miss that you saw yesterday.
but they don't have like the Jalen Carters or some of these first round guys that now the Williams kid's really good, but they don't stockpile them like they used to. They also don't run the ball all that well either.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Ole Miss numbers earlier.
They're bottom of the league overall.
Yeah, so I think Tennessee's got a great chance to win.
Let me ask you this one and get your takes here. Let's say Nico plays. We all feeling pretty good about this trip or no?
I still
Rain
feel.
cloud?
Of course.
You can hear it blowing in.
Look at this. I still home versus away.
That was my own problem.
Okay, I understood.
That would be a bit coming up, by the way, when we all pull out. All right.
It's home versus away. I mean, our offense is different. We have not shown in the past couple of years being able to go on the road and run the same kind of offense. You've also had this year offense that's inconsistent, sputtering, even with Nico. So your big struggle in this game going against Georgia is how many points am I going to get? Do I think our defense can hold this Georgia team to a certain number of points? Yes. I mean, I think that's why you're saying you're still in this game. And guess what? You're still in this game if Nico doesn't play, in my mind, because of your defense and because of what you need to score to actually win this game. It's not in the 30s. I think this is the kind of game. If you get to 24, 21, somewhere in there, I think you have a chance against this Georgia team. And that's why, you can. But I also go, is our offense on the road good enough to get that number of points? And that's where I'm like, I don't know.
One of the reasons they've struggled on the road is because they've been such a tempo-based offense, which
They
really aren't that important. Maybe that won't hurt them as much. Go ahead, Bob. Any thoughts on Mr. Game?
The one thing that concerns me, and it's psychological, does this focus Georgia? Because if you lose, you're done.
You're done.
No SEC championship game, no playoff, everything is done. So you're catching them either in a good time because they haven't looked good at all, especially their offense, I think, or is this the kind of thing that this week, okay, everybody's paying attention, everybody's going to be doing the right thing because you know that this knocks you out and you're just going to be an also-ran team for the year.
You're now a wounded animal, backed into a corner, and every other cliche you can come up with.
Yeah, I agree 100% because if you look at it's a night game on the road, Georgia's backed into a corner. This could be the signature win for Josh Heupel. This is the one that okay, he's finally breaking out on the road. Right? Not at home, but on the road. Because you look at our road win, which is a big one. I guess LSU won during the middle of the day, and we got out quick, and LSU ended up not being that good that year. I think this is a tough challenge for Tennessee. I say whichever offensive line plays better is the team that's going to win because Georgia's offensive line is not that good. Tennessee's offensive line is, believe it or not, I'm saying this, they're playing better. So now they are playing better. But here's the whole thing. It's I think it's going to come down to those front five and what they do. I just don't like it. It's at Georgia, at night. We don't play well on the road.
All right. Very good, gentlemen. When we come back, Josh Heupel and the Vols have already accomplished a lot. They're kind of setting records at this point, making history. We'll show you what that is. But I want to know, All right, let's say you don't win at Georgia and you don't make the playoff. Is this still a good season? After all, you're 8-1. You're leading the SEC deep in the season. If you just miss out on the playoff by 1, is it still a good season? We'll discuss the VFLs and talk about that one next. Come on back.